We gotta stop sexting the president.
Ancient Chinese secret.
It's the 80th anniversary tribute.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the thing about June is it's taken on a lot of other people's stuff.
Yeah.
To me, it's still a huge World War II month.
It is. It's the World War II month. Besides, the two bombs.
Yeah. But those August and what, May and August?
Yeah. Forward by Tom Hanks. I love that. I think the cutest thing about Tom Hanks is that he's like a World War II buff. I think that's pretty sick.
Yeah, being like a goofy comedic actor. I feel,
Do you still think of him as a comedic actor?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where he got his roots.
I know that's where he got his roots.
Yeah.
I know like Splash and all that stuff, but now he's a Oscar. Now he's an old gentleman.
Yeah, I think. Well, the thing is, I think he was good at comedic acting, and then he just kind of did more dramatic roles.
We don't really think of him because I don't know. If you think about Robin Williams, you think comedian who did drama.
Yeah.
And was good at it.
Yeah.
Like we don't. I think Tom Hanks like rewrote the history because I don't think people really think of him as a comedic guy.
Maybe,
who
but he also
anymore.
never did stand up. I would love to
never
see
did.
Tom Hanks try and do stand up.
He was in that stand up movie, Punchline.
Oh no way!
Did you ever see it?
No.
It's the most inaccurate depiction of stand up comedy.
Okay.
They have locker rooms at the comedy club.
Hang on, wait, more than Miss Maisel?
Yeah, it's about on par with Miss Maisel.
Dude, that's
where she just goes up and riffs 10 minutes and murders.
Well, hang on now. I've done that.
Oh yeah.
No,
yeah.
I'm fucking around.
We've all done that.
Dog,
We've all Maiseled our way
yeah
through a show.
I don't know. You know what? I like that people like it. I'm like, I don't care. Also, it's the thing we do. So when it's dramatized in our own weird way, we get to be the doctor watching the doctor show. Like, that's not right. That's not how it really is.
It is,
but it
kind
couldn't matter any less because it's stand up.
Yeah, it is woman crashing basically.
Oh,
Maisel.
are you talking about Miss Maisel?
Yeah.
I just meant like whenever stand up's depicted.
Yeah.
I mean, I think unfortunately it's been years since I've seen it. The most accurate was funny people.
Yeah,
I'm like,
because they're sad and dying.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's not right.
I like funny people's crazy because that's solidified for me that Judd Apatow's a cuck. Because he has this weird obsession where he casts his wife in movies. I don't know if we've already talked about this. He casts his wife in movies and then gives her a husband that's not him, but then the kids are played by their actual kids.
Yeah, I don't. That's
It's like
weird.
in that one, she's
what
like,
what if you were married to Eric Bana?
yeah,
like,
and then Adam Sandler went down on you.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That's so sick.
Speaking of going down on people, how was Greece?
Greece?
Yeah.
It was the best.
Johnny's
Greece.
back from Greece, everybody.
I'm back from Greece. We're both repping.
Yeah, I got. This is the Coors Banquet of Greece, I've been told.
That's pretty accurate, I think.
It's called Mythos?
It's called Mythos.
That's a great name for a beer.
Yeah,
'Cause
specifically a
get-
Greek beer.
Yeah, you're going to get fucked up and make some stories
You're
up.
gonna
dude.
make some myths.
You're going to make up some stories.
Yeah. You'll be the god of lightning by the time.
More thunder than anything.
Yeah.
Just lighting up a bathroom from both ends. Wait until you see my lightning. Well, I hear it coming.
It was great. It was. I drank a lot of Mythos.
Did you?
Yeah.
How did it smell?
Uh,
First impression you get off.
How did
the
Greece
airplane.
smell
Yeah,
in general?
just in general, you got off.
It has its up. Oh, the first thing I walk
I'm
off.
saying they open up that Freedom Air.
Well, the first second you walk out,
Yeah.
it's hot, and
Okay.
so everybody's greasy, and that's the first thing. Especially when you're in the airport, it's the first thing you smell is
Okay.
like the grease on other people.
But
Then once you get greasy enough, you integrate and you become part of the melting pot of greasy Greek people.
so it's a
And-
titular name for the country then.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
That's 100%.
It's all right.
The greasy Greeks.
The greasy Greeks of Greece.
Is that their football team?
Triple G's? Yeah, the greasy Greeks of Greece. Yeah. Tri G.
the new Stavros Halkia special coming in soon.
Dude, how
Greasy
much
Greek.
does him as a person make more sense now that you've gone to the motherland?
Yeah,
Or is he an outlier?
Stav is very Americanized.
Okay.
I believe so. As somebody who's been to Greece once.
All right. So besides speaking English, though,
right?
What's
like in terms of how he looks, I don't know. Well, here's the thing: we were vacationing, and the majority of places, like we were in Athens, Santorini, and Naxos. And Athens, Santorini, I didn't see many stops, right?
Okay.
I saw, because a lot of people are walking around, a lot of people are pretty fit.
Sure.
A lot of people are like hot young people on vacation.
All right.
But then Naxos is like the most kind of traditional island we went to. And there were like Stavros in 30 years. Like those guys, like old Stavs.
Yeah, tight fat, but they're old.
Yeah. You ever like, when you go to like
decades long fat that's just taut. Dude, that's such a fun look.
Yeah.
And it's like if you get that fat, you got to stay right there.
Yeah.
Cuz you're right before cuz you're right before sloppy, which is like sloppy's not great.
No.
But if you try to lose the weight, then it gets loose and you're like little sloppy.
You don't want that. Because when you're that old, that skin's not going to retract.
Exactly. You got to keep it tight.
You're going to look like fat bastard at the end of Goldmember for the rest of your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Just melting. Just vagina neck.
Yep.
But
is Fat Bastard only in the third movie?
He's in the second and third.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
I actually know this because I rewatched all three of those recently. I showed them to my girlfriend.
It's on my to-do list. I want to.
You've never seen the Austin Powers?
No, I've seen all three of them.
Oh.
It's just been years.
You got to do a run
through.
I
got to.
Yeah. There's so much in that.
I need to learn to behave again.
Mike Myers, just rewatching those. Half those movies are just mugging. It's just him like saying a line and then looking at the camera.
Yeah, But
and
it's
they don't make movies like that anymore. They don't mug anymore.
It'll come back.
Oh yeah,
all that's old will become new again.
You're right.
Just wait until Gen Alpha gets a hold of Austin Powers.
Well, that's gonna be the end of the world.
Yeah, it could be actually.
All that sexual repression that our generation deals with.
It's just free love, baby.
Free love.
So, anyways, tight fat Greek dudes.
Yeah.
Old. Well, like when I look at Stav, he's like royalty fat.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Just kind of.
He's like eating grapes.
Like if
in
Stav.
a throne fat.
Yeah, I imagine if he was I'm talking like I know him well. I've crossed paths with him twice.
I've not met Stav. You've met him twice?
Twice, yeah.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
We are good friends with Nick Mullen, but we're not.
Yeah. Take us with you guys. Well, also Stav did like defend my honor in like a nerdly way. And I'm sure he wouldn't remember it. And I don't know if I feel like telling the story. I can't remember if I've already told it before.
Yeah.
But no, so I love him for that.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you've told the story on the podcast because I don't think I've heard you talk about it.
It was just Bakar and I were pre-pandemic at the New York Creek in the Cave.
Sweet.
Doing mostly just open mics, but I think we got on like one like booked show. And Stav was there, and it was fun, but like I was eating shit. It was my first like big city run, so I'm just like eating shit all over New York City.
Yeah,
being like, this isn't what I thought dreams would be. And then we're outside Creek of the Cave, and I'm almost like broken, just sitting on this like concrete like stoop.
Yeah,
and this dude like Stav's outside. Zach's taking pictures of him. Like headshots and whatnot.
Yeah.
And this dude with his dog walks by and like says something like really shitty to me. And I can't quite remember what it was. And I like kind of laughed it off, and I was like too broken to even like come back. Like the city had beaten me at that point. And then Stav goes, "Hey, what? 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 You know?" And then he turned around and he goes, hey buddy, fuck you and fuck your dog too." And I was like, "Whoa,
Aww.
dude! Like you can talk like that?" He's like, "Yeah, dude, fuck that guy, fuck his dog. I don't give a shit. He's not gonna do anything." And it was like a brief interaction. And now I'm Team Stav forever. A galvanizing moment where I'm like, he could do some pretty deplorable shit, and I'd have to. He would have to lose a court case for me to be like, he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Cool. Until proven guilty.
You got a long way to go, Stav, before we have to disavow you.
Yeah. Oh my God. Dude, he once told a stranger, to fuck off.
Well, I don't think there's not a cutoff for when you stop. liking somebody or when you stop being friends with them. It's a point where you have to stop being publicly friends with them.
Yeah, I'll tell you right
Like,
now.
I bet Seth Rogen and James Franco still hang out privately. I'm willing to bet that.
Yeah,
you know?
because come on, man, they're both probably be like, you got caught, you got caught.
We lost one of the good ones.
Dude, are you hip on any of like internet dramas or like video game dramas? Do you
I know about the guy who got caught for being a pedophile.
I was gonna say Dr. Disrespect.
Dr. Disrespect.
Dog.
Yeah, sunglasses guy.
Out of control. That this guy is just.
I saw the video of him
Oh,
getting the text.
Oh
on
yeah,
live stream.
dude. Hey,
just like the way he's like getting the final boss battle. And he's like, all right, let's go. And then he looks at it and he's like,
and it's just the mustache sinks below the chin.
It's like a cartoon character. The mustache like showing their it's like when Spider-Man's eyes on his costume squint
come down.
You're like, it shouldn't happen naturally, but I
Yeah,
understand emotionally why it's happening.
Dude, it's you know what's even crazier?
Yeah.
Not his first time having like an epic meltdown
Hell yeah,
of
dude.
like terrible proportions on stream. And like I don't understand in my brief time streaming, I still don't understand. I'm like, dog, just get up and walk away from your camera.
Turn it off.
But like it's crazy. There was one time like it makes sense now cuz like years ago he was getting like shadow canceled.
Oh.
And he like just said some weird ass shit like, you know, they're gonna come for you, and these people don't even know. And like it's like a 180. He's like talking about like boom headshot, then like mustache sag, and then he just gets into weird esoteric defense mode.
Yeah, yeah.
And you're like, what? Also, he already like cheated on his family once.
Oh.
And then like everybody gave him like, all right.
But that wasn't with a kid.
No,
because now he's like, didn't he have like child porn or something?
He definitely was texting
like a
an
15-year-old?
underage person sexually.
Yeah.
Which is enough to be like, yikes, big yikes.
Big yikes.
Big yikes.
Listen, if you don't want to, I think it all has to do with the career choice. Also, because he's probably a creep and a pedophile.
Hang on. As a teacher
Yeah.
and borderline unemployed comedian, how are we the ones? I'll set out some ground rules. If it's not your kid, absolutely don't go out of your way to talk to him.
No. No, you should.
If an underage person reaches out to you for whatever reason, see if they got parents
Yeah.
to talk to. And then also, this was Salsa Parlor's motto, business hours. 9 a.m., 5 p.m., and you keep it business talk only.
Yeah. Not after the sun's down, for sure.
For fucking sure.
You should not be talking to a child after the sun is down.
The only reason I bring up the Salsa Parlor thing is we had that teenage girl that like wanted to do the mic, and we instantly went into like we have an LLC business mode. We're like 9 a.m., 5 p.m. You have to.
She
have
was
your
like
parents.
14,
something like that. But we were immediately like, you get your parents involved in this. Like,
I remember that because it was the garage mic.
Yeah,
she was second on the lineup. Her parents were there. And I remember I followed her because I think Seychella went before, and he's pretty clean. And then I followed her, and I was literally watching her and her family leave, waiting for like the second they were around the corner, so I could say my first F-bomb.
Oh, did anybody else think she was hot? Oh, fuck. Like, God damn it, Johnny. God damn it, Johnny.
Jesus.
No, well, Dr. Disrespect came out at me. Dude, I'm just doing.
No, I was just on stage, got a text, and then like dejectedly
dude
walked off.
Well, it's just one of those strange, he's becoming his own character.
Yeah.
Like you're like
he diced himself.
I guess, yeah. But in an illegal, weird way.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not illegal to be an Italian, so Dice didn't get in trouble for that.
I don't know, man. It's just
unfortunately, it should be illegal to be Italian. I want to point that out.
Well,
I want our
they're
audience
working on it. We got to build a wall around Italy.
Just around Sicily, at least, dude.
But no, I don't know, man. It's just that happened while you were gone.
Yeah.
There's been so much that has happened.
Yeah.
In the universe while you were getting got in Greece.
I feel like Rip Van Winkle. Just coming back, learning what hawk tua means. Just like
you knew what it meant. That's why that
I
girl
did know
went
it. Yeah,
viral.
yeah.
Everybody knew what it meant.
Everybody
We just
knew
didn't have a
exactly, yeah.
colloquialism for it.
Dude, she got fired from her teaching job within the 2 weeks I was gone.
Yeah.
She went viral, got fired she was like a elementary teacher in Tennessee.
Okay.
I know people I think that knew her.
Okay.
Because I used to live in Mississippi and Tennessee. And then now she went on stage at a concert, like she's a celebrity now.
Yeah.
Which I would also do because you got to try to supplement that income somehow.
Yeah,
now.
I hear that I've heard rumors that she's already made tons of money off this. I don't
Good
know
for
how
her, dude.
true that is.
It's the hustle. Let's get her on the pod.
Yeah, well,
Let's get her.
tough get. I think everybody wants to talk to that gal. Right now.
Yeah. We'll wait for it to die down.
I will say this. I am friends with fathers, and I will say the fathers of the universe that aren't complete dirtbags are like, nah, if that was my daughter, I'd be a little bit like, damn it.
Yeah, no, that's fair to say.
However,
I think it's 100%. Knowing how ashamed my parents are of me for just this, like, I can't imagine.
yeah,
how I'd feel if that was my kid.
I don't know. You know, I can see both sides of it.
Yeah.
You'd be like, your daughter publicly, outed how to give a righteous speech
Yeah.
and seems to be able to back up the claim.
Here's my centrist take on the whole thing.
All right.
Okay? I think that a woman can go out there, say whatever she wants. It's her right. Sometimes it's going to be cool. Sometimes it's going to be over the line, whatever. She should go.
It's going to be real cool.
Sometimes it's going to be the sickest thing you've heard. And it's like what she said, it's fine, it's funny, I don't care. I also think it's very normal and in fact preferred if her parents feel a little uncomfortable or ashamed by it.
Sure, yeah.
Like if her dad was like, hell yeah, baby.
Oh,
yeah,
that'd be
sweetheart,
weirder.
get out
That'd be
there.
weirder.
That'd be weird. They should not support her on that. Not saying she shouldn't have done it. I'm just saying like she should do it and then also her parents should be like,
I don't know. This is probably a problematic take because
Yeah.
I'm with you on there. Parents that are like overly cool with supporting their children
No.
in like porn or
No,
whatever.
dude.
I think the coolest way parents can support children that are into stand up porn, any of the disappointing arts,
Yeah.
is like a quiet "we're still here for you"
Yeah.
or support.
I think it should
It
be like
weirds me out when a dad's like, "That's my daughter."
that's
Like,
my daughter
I'm like,
right there. That's
I'm
my
like,
little girl.
Oh, dude.
I think they should treat it like a lightly homophobic parent would with like a gay marriage. Like the parents that are like cool
Just
with
quiet at the wedding, but still there.
they're cool with it, but they always refer to their kid's spouse as their friend, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, when's your friend coming over? Like that level of homophobic. That's how they should be about their daughter.
the dad in the Pride Oreo commercial. If he never painted the fence at the end,
I remember
like if it just cut before.
he goes from being homophobic to I don't remember the commercial that well, but he goes from being homophobic to painting the fence the pride flag.
Yeah.
Because he had an Oreo.
I think.
Did the Oreo cure his homophobia?
I mean, it is on the box. I'll tell you this much: if I eat a sleeve of Oreos,
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little bit gayer.
Yeah,
For sure, dude. If you
Dude,
eat,
you give me enough Oreos, we'll have a Greek time together.
I'm telling you this much: a serving size of Oreos is 2 cookies, and I'm like, nah, dude, there's no way.
No.
If you only
It's not
eat
a
2
serving.
Oreos, that's so conservative.
Yeah,
But if
I
you
think
fu-
2 Oreos is the max you'll have before you start doing butt sex.
Yeah,
That's the
cream,
warning.
cream me up, dude. Double stuffed. It was in front of us the whole time, dude.
The metaphor is that the two
Have you ever had
the 2 cookie ends are my butt cheeks, and
Sure.
the cream in the middle is
No, they're pretty. What's your favorite Oreo?
I just like classic.
Okay,
I do like the white ones though.
Not double stuffed.
Double stuffed are. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't love the ratio on double stuff.
Well, I'm waiting for the airtight. That was a long way to go. A long way to go for it. Wanted to do it earlier, but
I want the cream pie ones where it's kind of coming out the ends.
just sloppy Oreos. Sloppy-O's. Oreos teaming up with SpaghettiOs to make a mess.
We need to commodify sloppy reality in our culture more. You know, we need to make dating shows.
I was gonna say Danny DeVito could be the spokesperson.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying he's a sloppy dude, but he has been typecast to handle the slop well.
He is. He's our slop hero. He's our slop daddy. That Danny DeVito.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna mention to you the debates. Did you watch
Yeah.
Trump versus
Dude,
Biden?
so
I watched like the first 2 minutes and then I saw the highlights.
yeah, no, it was on at Ozone during the show.
No.
Which, by the way, I don't know if you heard about.
I heard about the guy.
Ozone show.
Do you want to talk about that guy?
Should we talk?
Let's talk about him first.
Talk about him and then get into the debates? Because, there's no way I can talk about
Nick
Ozone.
texted me about
Oh, dude. Okay. All right. Yeah, story time, everybody. June has been a month of hell gigs for Lou. Like, I've had one of those months where I'm questioning. I'm not. It's just been rough shows where I should be chilling out and doing summer stuff. So, cut to Ozone, cool bar in Old Town Lansing. Before I get into it, I just want to say the bar's cool, management's cool. I love the show there.
Most of the time the show is cool.
Yeah.
Which obviously I say as a co-runner of the show.
Yeah, but it's like kind of normally like a low-stakes, feel-good showcase.
Yeah.
That's sandwiched right between that pre-booked open mic feeling and like club showcase feeling.
Yeah.
You know, you're like low pressure, still a good time, but like don't phone it the fuck in.
Right.
And so Nick's there, and he actually texted me like a couple hours before the show, maybe like, hey, you want to fill a spot? I'm like, all right, yeah. And I'm having a rough month anyway. But I was like, all right, maybe doing some time tonight with friends will just be like just what I need, you know? And I get there, and you've run shows solo before. It's kind of stressful. It's not the worst thing in the world, but
you got to do that, especially now when they open the patio. You got to like put the two different speakers out.
Yeah, that's the other thing is Ozone's a small brewery, actually a football or soccer bar.
Yeah, it is big on the football and soccer culture.
That'll come into play momentarily. Right. But anyway, so Nick's setting up. I get there, and Team USA is taking on Team Panama.
Oh,
and
shit.
It's every mid-Michigan soccer fan.
That's real like, Hatfield and McCoy is.
Yeah, oh yeah. I was like, we built the canal. Now you got to win it. But it's like a lot of like when you walk into a sports bar where I'm like, I don't think anybody in here truly knows the sport yet.
No,
like soccer bars in America, unless it's like a big city where I'm like, oh, these people, they're immigrants. They get the culture all the way through. But like you're getting people who are like, oh yeah, dude, that's a bad call. Where's the red card for that one?
You got to be full British, like rough.
Well,
you gotta call him the C word.
Right. I'm not gonna do it. But that's a nasty word.
I'm not British enough to do that word.
Even for a bit, I don't pull
that's
it out.
Where
much.
That's where we draw the line.
That's the line. In Chinese rocket force, we don't say cunt. No, but yeah, you know when you're watching sports and there's somebody who like kind of doesn't know, but they keep talking out loud to seem like
score.
Yeah. It was a whole bar of
Get
that
those
vibe.
points.
It was a lot of that vibe. But I was like, whatever. Everybody's having a good time. I'm being overly judgmental because I'm kind of feeling like a son of a bitch. But we're just going to have fun. And Team USA lost. And I was like, you know what, though, gang? We're still doing all right. I think overall we're beating Panama pretty solid.
Let them have that.
Yeah, I was like, Panama can win the ball game, everybody.
Dude, what's Panama exporting? They just got that canal.
Yeah, from us.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Welcome,
and
Panama.
honestly, under bad management, the canal's not really exporting a lot.
Is that Pete Buttigieg's fault? I don't know.
Maybe. I think it was the captain who took a sharp turn in a narrow alley. If I was making a judgment call, it was whatever seafaring bloke thought he could ride the wall.
People were blaming Buttigieg though, because he's in charge of the.
Yeah, he probably sent a nude to the captain. Like, get a load of this transportation weed. and then some sailor who's been cooped up on a container ship being like, God damn it, I can't open it, otherwise they'll escape. I can't.
Biden should have sent him there personally to fix the boat. Should have been like, Pete, quit having butt sex and get over there. Like, why? Pete. Hey, Pete, stop fucking your husband. Get over there.
Yeah, he can fuck butts.
Come on.
But he's going to unclog. Who knows how to unclog a canal better than a butt fucker? It just makes sense. I said, Pete, this is 60, 70, 80,000 pound turd. You got past that turd because you're fucking the economy up.
I said, Pete, if you can swallow a man's cum, you can swallow this responsibility.
I'll tell you right now, you got to swallow this pride, which is what I call my 80-year-old load.
I wish Trump debated Pete.
That would have been.
And then he'd have to be like, I've swallowed more cum.
I don't.
This guy's not gay.
I haven't sucked dick, but if I did suck dick, I'd be better. I'm a giver. Pete doesn't suck.
Pete, in another life, I'd love to suck your dick.
I can't.
Did you see that? Because he said that to Biden. He was like, in another life, I'd like to play golf with you.
Oh, that's funny.
I was like, that kind of made me cry.
They could also play golf now, except
Dude.
I honestly believe that Biden would show up with mostly tennis rackets.
Yeah.
Anyways,
you're talking about ozones in the
Panama.
guy.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, you got caught up.
We're gonna have to clip that up. We haven't had a clip worthy moment.
We haven't had a clip in a long time.
Yeah, that's because I've been depressed.
Clip it.
Yeah, if anybody's like, "Wow, man, they used to have 4 or 5 a week," well, guess what, everybody? Old Lou Michaels suffer from the depression.
And Lou Michael does all the work.
Yeah, well, no, you do the front end.
I'm
the back
You're the back
end,
end.
baby.
You're the Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, dude. I'm unclocking all kinds of stuff. No, I don't know. Anyways, so ozones, blah, blah, blah. Cut to show gets going, and everybody knows this dude at a bar. Just visually a problem, you know? Like, you can see from a distance this guy's gonna suck.
Yeah.
And he pinged on Nick immediately.
Jesus.
He comes up wearing a Team USA red shirt, which would later look more like a red flag. Shorts, douchebag haircut. Like, he looks like he takes like alpha male shit too seriously online.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like traditional bro culture.
Like an Andrew Tate guy?
Not quite that, but you know,
Okay.
like I check my bank account every day. It's a non-negotiable. Like that type of energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of guy, but he's drunk now and
You
a
got to get
soccer
punched
fan.
in the face once a day to know what it feels like.
I see. No, he's not that
No.
you know what? I might even clip in some of our interaction because
Oh.
I have
You got video?
I got video.
Oh, no.
I got video.
You got to show that to me right after
well, we're gonna have to find it. It's still on the camcorder.
this. Oh.
But yeah, a few other people got video. Anyways, this guy comes up.
Oh,
to
so he
Nick.
was heckling you on stage. That's how you
Kind
got on
of.
the
No,
camera.
it's weirder.
Okay.
He wasn't heckling so much as accosting us off stage,
Okay.
and then kind of fucking glaring at us on stage. Like, so anyways, he comes up to Nick and he goes, immediately just goes, "Hey man, could I get on stage tonight?" And he's double fisting beers, craft beers, already well on. And Nick's like politely like, "Oh no, sorry man, this is actually like a pre-book show." Nick's doing like the very cordial no.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy goes, "Oh, yeah, but I actually do comedy in New York City." And we both are like kind of taken aback because like
That happens sometimes.
well, also when you do something long enough, whatever your field, hobby, anything is, I think you get an immediate like radar for when somebody's just talking out of pocket, like immediately.
Yeah.
And so as soon as that guy said that, I'm like, nobody talks like that
No.
who does comedy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the approach even was wrong.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, like there's no cordiality. He came at it full blown ego, full blown tip of the Dunning-Kruger.
Especially like if he was doing comedy in New York, he'd have to learn that.
Oh,
To
for sure,
successfully
for
do
sure.
comedy, he had to learn how. Like if it was like some shithead open micer from around the state,
Yeah.
you know, they could come up to you and say that.
Yeah.
But like that, like if he presumably did do stand up in New York, then he would at least know how to approach a guy on stage.
I mean, or if you'd done one open mic literally anywhere one time.
Sure.
And this will come out. This man has never done an open mic. He is the Rich Hutchinson.
Oh, I hope he is.
Well, he's
Unironically Rich
unironically
Hutchinson.
or coincidentally Rich Hutchinson, because he comes up, he asks Nick. Nick says the polite no.
Yeah.
He then goes on to go, comedy in New York City. He goes, I do the Comedy Cellar. You heard of it?
I didn't know he said,
dude,
you heard of it.
You heard of it? like in that shit-eating tone of like,
you do not do the Comedy Cellar.
You heard of it? And then immediately I went from like, this guy kind of sucks and doesn't do it, to bullshit meter exploded in my brain.
Yeah.
And I just went, I was like, oh yeah, you did the Comedy Cellar? Who got you on? He goes, Sam Morril. And I'm just like, and then Nick's bullshit meter exploded because he's like, this guy just said like the two most in vogue I do stand-up things.
Yeah.
Where it's like popular.
Right.
Do you know?
You're like, somebody watched one episode of We Might Be Drunk and then learned all of his backstory.
I guess. But anyways, so I start just tossing out, you know when somebody's bullshitting, but you just toss out like wiffle balls to see if they have any idea.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool, man. Like, you know, like what other clubs do you do around New York City? And he just goes, there's like a lot in that area. And I'm like, yeah, but like Grizzly Pear, Fat Black Pussycat, I like the Stand move. You ever do the Stand? Like, I was like, do you know any of the other guys? And then I started naming like not super famous New York comics, but like if you were a New York comedian, you fucking know of them.
Yeah.
And he's just nothing. And I'm like, I was immediately like, this guy doesn't know fuck all. No. We're dealing with an absolute sandbag and phony.
Yeah.
Or like a Walter Mitty, stolen valor piece of shit type of deal. Anyways, we both kind of go like, all right, enough of this. Carl Sobel, shout out Carl. Love you, buddy.
Shout out Carl.
Unfortunately, this guy starts talking shit about Carl. Like, well, I'm watching him. And I'm not like, it's Carl.
So Carl's on stage.
Carl's
right
on
now.
stage. And also Carl's getting laughs.
Yeah.
And doing well.
Because Carl is good.
Yeah. Carl's a good comedian.
Yeah.
He's getting laughs and doing well. And this guy's like, we got to corral the crowd. You guys got to get the people in closer. Like, you got to get them into the show.
Oh.
This guy's tone and inflection. He needs to use more of it.
Okay, I want to say at first I found this guy endearing, and now I hate
him.
No,
he's absolute shit.
Now I hate him. He sucks.
Like you're gonna understand why I boil over here.
Yeah,
because he starts talking like that, like how the room needs to be set up, how to do comedy. He's giving Carl notes as Carl's doing something this man's never done and doing it well.
Wait, is he giving Carl notes while
to
Carl's
me,
on stage?
Like to me, like he's immediately like talking to me and Nick.
Jesus.
And then at some point, Jacob Russell was there. Patty Rooney gave him a false name. Fucking chef's kiss. I'm gonna start doing that.
Well, she does improv. She's quick.
Yeah, no, she her bullshit detector. Smart lady in comedy. She's miles ahead. She's miles ahead. So. Anyways, he starts doing that, and then I go, yeah, this is actually my friend on stage, and he's doing well, and that's his style. Like, that's his brand of comedy. He was like, I guess, like, okay, I'm just saying he could be doing better. And then I'm like, oh, we're dealing with that guy. Mm-hmm. Starts doing that. Then he starts going like, is there, like, no way I can get on? I'm better.
He goes
I'm
back.
better than everybody on the lineup.
Oh, my God.
And then I'm just like, no, man. And at this point, I'm like, I don't run the show, but no, man, it's like full, like, sorry, you can't get on. Then he keeps trying to, like, he'll double back and try and, like, start talking shop again. And he goes, yeah, it's just like, you know, there's not a lot to do in Michigan. The Michigan scene actually sucks. And all of us are like, record scratch, stop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And I immediately, like, the only one he could think of is Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. He's like, it's the only club. And immediately myself and then Jacob Russell, Jake even chimes in. He's like, nah, there's Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase, One Night Stands, Dr. Grins, Independent Comedy Independent Comedy Club, Detroit House of Comedy. Like, we're just rattling off all the other clubs. Yeah. And by the way, I will say this, like, I'm not saying the Michigan scene is the best in the world.
No.
And it's not bad. It rules, and I love it because it's where we learn to do comedy.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're doing well.
And as somebody who has gone to like other Midwest, you know, not coastal, not important places,
it's comparable.
It has a pretty robust scene for where we're at.
Yeah.
You know?
It's comparable to anywhere else that is trying and doing well.
Yeah.
That's what I mean to say. So it deserves at least that level of respect. Mm-hmm. If you're from a powerhouse scene and you want to talk shit on smaller scenes,
well, this guy's from New York.
Awesome,
he
yeah.
does
I'm
Cellar.
like awesome, but I'm like, dog, whatever. Yeah. You know, I'm like, in any given Sunday, I'm like, I've seen some fucking hayseeds come out of nowhere and fucking dominate.
Yeah.
So anyways, but he's like talk shit immediately irks us all. So now I'm like, oh, now you've just like talk shit to our face. And then he's like, seriously, I can't do like any time. Like, just I'll get the crowd laughing. I'll get these people laughing. And then like there's a newer comic on. He's talking wicked shit about him. And Nick at this point, shout out Nick Earl. We've talked about how Nick is the enforcer.
He is.
After a while, and Nick starts going no nonsense mode.
Yeah.
He's like newer guy, giving him his shot.
Nick will unleash on a guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he was.
Yeah.
Nick fucking lit him up with like fuck off energy, and then he yields or like comes back to the comics table and then starts talking to me. I'm like, dog, I'm not a producer on this show, but I'm like, if he said no, then no.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're not getting on the show. And then he's like having a temper tantrum, and he keeps going over to well, he goes over to the table of his friends who are ignoring everything, and they're in a different room, so they're not even watching the show. And he's like, come on guys, let's watch the show. And he's like trying to get his friends to go watch the show, to be like, I'll bring more people, and they have no idea what he's doing.
So this guy was with a group of guys
and gals. I think his girlfriend was there.
What did he look like? How would you describe
a total fucking goober. We'll get to that.
Did he have like a wide face?
Yeah.
Do you have pictures or like
toothy?
actual
He'll be on video. There was
because I wonder if this is the same guy. We had an incident at Ozones a few months ago where a guy actually like, I'm not going to name the comic, but he caused a comic to like almost leave because he was so I had to like he came to the comics table,
accosting
sat down.
another comic.
Yeah, like not verbally, but he was like getting in their space, and then I was like, you gotta go back to your table.
I
and
think
like,
okay, dog, if this is the same guy, otherwise we're gonna have to start policing.
Yeah, we'll have to give his face to the bar if like this is a
red shirt right there, pompadour on him. Beard, toothy looking smile.
I don't see him well enough to know if that was him, but it might be him. Was he pretty hammered?
Yeah, he was pretty well on.
This other guy was pretty hammered too. But,
did he have a beard?
A
little bit of teeth to him?
I think he had facial hair. I don't know if it was a full beard. He had a toothy grin.
Yeah, smug douche.
Yeah,
energy
a bit, but he wasn't nearly as. I mean, it might just be drunk levels. He wasn't nearly as like comprehensible as the guy you're describing.
Okay, well, yeah. If he was more drunk, I could totally see this guy being like a nightmare beyond tonight or the night I'm talking about.
But I don't know. I'd have to get.
Well, all right. We'll check into it later. It sounds like it has to be the same guy.
Yeah.
Then. Because he kept coming up to the comics table and like trying to talk to us all.
Yeah.
And then finally,
was the comics table on the patio or was
no?
It
we were in the back room, which is where his table of friends were.
Yeah.
And so finally, like I kind of snapped. Like I'm like not doing well, and this guy is like kind of ruining the one thing I love right now. Like not the one thing, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I love doing stand up. I just wanted to have fun.
Yeah.
And now this shitbird is like. I'm like, okay, well, the universe is taken from me, so now this is happening.
Yeah.
And I start kind of giving it right back in a harsh tone where I'm like, you do comedy? I'm like, you don't do comedy. I don't think you know Sam Morril at all. Call him. He's like, I'm like, I'll fucking call him. He's not going to pick up because why the fuck would he answer my call? I've got his number from one interaction because...
Did you try to get his name or socials?
I can't remember his...
Because I feel like that's the first thing I do is be like, what's your Instagram?
I didn't want to remember this guy's name.
Yeah.
He fucking sucks, dude.
Yeah.
So no, I think it was like Brendan or Brandon though, or Bradley. I don't know.
Oh,
it was a B. It was a B name, and if I'm wrong, fuck them.
We're doxing them.
Don't
all
care.
Brendans, Bradleys, and Brandons in the Lansing area. You're done.
You're green. Yeah, green light. So finally, I just kind of go, "How do you get on any comedy show?" He's like, "What?" Like he's baffled by my question. I was like, "How do you get?" Because he keeps asking, and it costs him. I'm like, "How do you get on literally any comedy show?" He goes, and I go, "When you're in New York City, how do you get on a comedy show in New York?" He goes, "Oh." And then finally, I'm like, "Literally any mic, any show. How do you get on?" And he starts going unironically. He's like I'm funny and I'm hot. And like at this point, I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "How do you get on comedy shows for real?" He goes, "I'm funny and I'm hot. I'm funny and I'm hot."
Yeah.
And he keeps saying that. And at this point, we're all shit-eatingly laughing because it's like
that is
incredible.
The funniest thing you could say.
It's the best response ever.
Honestly, he might be good.
This guy,
that's hilarious.
This guy is probably hilarious. That's the bummer. Is I'm like, whether it's intentional or not, I'm like, he probably has chops to be funny.
I'm willing to bet he's a guy who's funny with his friends but can't write a joke. That's what I'm willing to bet.
I definitely,
because I meet that guy all the time, like a guy who's funny at parties or with the boys. You know,
well, it's the ego lord where I'm like, it's a guy who's never done it but is probably hilarious.
Yeah,
especially amongst his friends.
Yeah.
But then immediately Dunning-Kruger effect thinks he rules at stand-up because of it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like that was the vibe I got.
I've met that guy. I knew a guy in high school. Yeah, I'm gonna say his name, Eric. I hate that guy.
Fuck.
I don't hate it. But he sucks. But he was like definitely like a guy like who made his friends laugh.
Yeah.
And there's one video I remember, like he made his stand-up debut and he announced it, and he like posted this video of his first set, and it was at Harvey's upstairs in Kalamazoo.
Yeah.
And he went to the extent to like cut it into 1 minute pieces so we could put it all on Instagram, because at the time that's what you had to do.
Sure.
And it's like he tells a 7-minute story with no punchlines.
Yeah.
No punchline at the end either. But it was like, and he got like 2 chuckles.
Yeah.
And the most, I think it was all from his friend who was recording it.
Sure.
His friend is Ben. Shout out Ben. Ben's cool.
Shout out Ben.
Don't
Ben's
approve
cool.
of Eric. But
that's still like that. You're allowed to be new and suck and like
right, but it was like, but what I got from the story was like, this is a story he told his friends, and it's funny because they know him, and they're like, oh, this is a fun, but like to strangers, they don't give a shit about who you are, you know, they don't know why this is a funny story involving you. They're waiting for something that you're not giving.
The minutia or the art that is stand-up is taking your thoughts, your opinions, your ideas, and making strangers laugh or empathize with it. Whatever. I don't know, just making people laugh, right?
Yeah.
And people predominantly that don't know you. And anyways, I'm not going to speak with authority on it because it's like I still have my own, what is it, imposter syndrome?
Yeah, look, we bomb still to this day.
Yeah. I've done well.
Eric quit comedy and he still lives with his mom, so, you know, we're all
damn,
we're all
dude,
different.
Tabs.
That's what I heard.
Tabs on my guy.
Yeah,
you know, sounds like you should get back into stand-up.
Yeah, no, you're prime there.
This is just drawing the bow back, baby.
We will. Hey, if you accost us at Ozones, we will put you on.
Yeah,
we'll let you headline.
Yeah, man, I'll put him on. Anyways, this is taking way too long and dominating the pod, and this guy sucks. But I'm getting ready to do my set, and I look at Carl Sobel in his eyes and go, I'm not even gonna acknowledge this guy. And Carl smiles a little bit. And then I get on stage, and this is something else. This guy was standing in the middle of the room, like in front of people sitting or like people watching the show. He would just stand and stare at the comic on stage. And Nick thought at one point
he's doing a sit-in protest.
Dude, yeah. At one point, Nick thought he was gonna like try and rush to get the mic in between comics or whatever. So I get up there and I'm like, cool, and I'm seething pissed, which is a terrible way to go on stage. But I'm like covering it up. I'm like, whatever. But I'm like, this is one of the more fuming times I've gone to the microphone because I had to walk by this dumb douche to get to the mic.
Yeah. I
get up there, and I'm having fun riffing for maybe 2 minutes, and I just see him staring at me. And I was like, all right, I guess I choose violence. Let's go. And I was like, all right, dude, you've been fucking weird and odd all night. And the crowd doesn't know. But at this point, I'm like, do you want to tell a joke? He's going to go, yeah. I'm like, you want to tell a joke? I'm like, fine, come up here. You can tell a joke. And as he comes up, I'm like, rule number 1 for me, if you have any interaction like that, I'm like, I'm in control of the microphone still.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it's going to work. So he gets up, and I'm holding the mic stand, and I've got the mic in front of his face. I'm like, I'm going to keep the mic. I'm holding the mic for you. And he goes, and he, like, drunkenly tries to, like, grab at the mic, and I pull it away. And I'm like, no, man. Like,
is the audience responding to this at all?
I mean... Yeah, but I don't know how well at this point.
But like this shtick with you like pulling the mic away, were they laughing?
A little bit, I think. But it's like the audience could also tell before this interaction I was pissed.
Yeah.
Like I was. I haven't played the clip back, so I don't know how weird it was. I ended on a laugh and whatever. But so anyways, I pull the mic back and I'm like, all right, like nah, like we're not doing that. And then I'm like, them's the rules. I'm like, if you want to tell a joke up here tonight, I'm gonna keep the microphone. Okay, that's That's it. And I put it in front of his
Please
face.
tell me he shot at the N-word.
Dude, right?
Dude, oh.
I put it in front of his face again, and he tries to take it again, and I just pull it away. And then this is where I'm really going to need to, like, play the clip back.
This is like a cat with, like, a red light.
Dude, I'm like, and then finally I go, like, nah, man, all right, like, no, we're not doing this. And then he goes, like, if you do that again, I'm like, okay. I had no idea what he was going to say. He's like, I'm going to punch you. And then in the mic, I just go, and like my eyes changed from whatever crazy I normally am to insane.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you're gonna punch me? Yeah, punch me. And then I go, all right, we're done here. And I pat his shoulder to push him off stage, and he like gives me that drunken glare and looks at me. And then for the rest of my set is about 2.5 feet away from me, just standing watching. And I'm riffing. I'm doing jokes. Bits, getting some laughs, and then shitting on this guy.
Yeah.
And then getting back, and it's the most hot potato, hot mess, piece of shit set I've ever had. And people are pulling their phones out. One kid came up to me after. He's like, yeah, I thought I was going to get a World Star video out of this one. Like, legitimately. And then, like,
Nice.
another kid's, like, came up to me. Like, I had one of those sets where people also knew what was going on because they were coming. Another dude was like, yeah, man, like, I don't know if that guy sized you up well enough because he's like, I thought you were going to beat the shit out of him. And that's the thing is, it's weird. Off stage at one point again, the punching comes up. He's like, I want to punch you. I'm like, okay. And then he goes, but I'm not gonna. He like says something along those lines.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna punch you.
I
but
love
I'm not
like
gonna.
because he goes, if you do that again, I'm expecting like,
Dude,
I'm expecting a hyperbolic like response. I'm
He was
expecting if you do that
bumping-
again, I'm gonna end your life. I'm gonna clean the floor. Like saying I'm gonna punch
I'm
you.
gonna punch you. Yeah,
Is
And
so funny.
I'm like, dog, I've eaten some sick ones in my day, and I've also been punched. So a bit. But so he's standing, he's bumping into this girl at the bar who's sitting, and he's just bumping the back of her chair. He's stumbling around 3 different people, just annoying 5 people at once, one of them being me. And then, like, I don't know, dude. Still riffed and roasted the rest of the set.
Good.
I don't know. Ended on a laugh. Did the Pearl Harbor closer.
Good.
Yeah. Got a laugh to, like, you know, be like, hey, this. And then Jacob Russell was closing the show out. And Nick and I both noticed that this man was a bit more timid with Jake.
Oh,
just as scotch.
you mean a large, imposing man like Jacob
well,
Russell?
we can say it. Large, imposing black man.
Yeah,
That I do believe race might have played a touch in that man's timidness with Jacob.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna make a judgment call. This guy seems like he might be a little fast and loose with all the words.
Yeah.
So
probably doesn't have black friends too. You know?
No. The table. Well, so during Jacob's set, somebody from his group sees how fucking close he is.
Yeah.
To the stage, and Jacob also addressed it and like.
See, if a
made
white
fun
guy
of
had regularly gotten humbled by black guys that are like his friends,
yeah.
that would lead him down a different path that would not play out. That
I'm not
day.
sure that this guy's ever gotten his ass savagely whooped,
Yeah.
and if he did, he's just so egotistical and dumb that he's like,
or he's
I don't know.
addicted to it.
Maybe, but anyway,
he probably went home just like, damn it, I wish I got my ass whooped.
I don't know. Jacob handled it like a champ. I felt bad because I'm like, I shouldn't have interacted, but I chose violence. I chose to be a bad good comic that night. But yeah, then like finally somebody from his cohort of soccer fans were like, "Oh, what are you doing? Like, get away!" And they like ushered him away for like the end of the show, whether it was like his girlfriend or another buddy. I'm like, "Where were you, dumb bastards, the whole time?"
Yeah.
Like,
now you babysit him?
Yeah. And like, I don't know, some people were like, why didn't management get involved? I'm like, there's 2 overworked bartenders and a server. Also, Ozone is not a place where you normally need a bouncer.
No, there's no fights.
Yeah.
It's a craft beer place that closes at like
Craft
10
beer
p.m.
artisan food truck in the wokest part of town.
It closes before 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Like it's not a fight spot.
It's clean bathrooms with tampons in both.
It would have been funny
And-
if you interrupted a debate watching party.
Well,
That would've
yeah. Oh, by the way, all this whole time the debates are in the background. Sorry, that's how we got there.
Yeah. Did you watch the highlights the next day?
I did. I actually watched it like minutes behind on my drive back on YouTube.
I was at the airport and
Okay.
the CNN live stream was on YouTube, so I watched the beginning of it and then watched highlights later. But it was, dude, yeah, Joe killed it.
Yeah, well,
He
or
killed
was
something.
dying.
yeah.
Just dying in front of us.
It's the worst he's ever looked.
Hold that thought. I do have to pee.
And the world will live as one. Thanks.
That's the only part I'm leaving in.
That's gonna be the whole episode.
Zero context. I'm gonna cut all around that and leave that in.
That'd be good.
But yeah, no. So yeah, old Sleepy Joe.
Yeah, no. I think Trump won the election that night.
Oh yeah.
I think that night secured. Well, assuming because immediately after that, like every Biden lackey, right? Every like CNN, MSNBC, Pod Save America, those fucking guys.
Yeah.
You know those guys.
Yeah.
All of those guys for this longest time has been weakened at Bernieing this guy Joe Biden. Pretending he's fine. It's like, no, he's sharp. Look at him. He just has a stutter. And even them, after the election, were like, we should look at getting a new guy.
Yeah, it's like I feel like we were getting
That's bleak,
like casually gaslit.
Yeah.
Like he's doing great.
And then eventually you just can't gaslight anymore.
No,
Eventually it's just right there.
He had a dying man's voice.
yeah.
His mouth agape. Like it. Yeah, dog. Like
I love it. They had two faces. Biden was like
normally
the whole time, and then Trump was like
like
blue stealing the whole time.
One's lips were super puckered, and the others just couldn't find each other.
My favorite thing is every time, dude, I get so much anxiety when Biden starts answering a question.
Yeah.
Like you're just like like it's like watching somebody lower a piano.
I'll say this. A brain with no safety catch. He's not saying the worst shit for an 81-year-old man.
Every now and then, though, I remember they were like asking him about Roe v. Wade, and he was just like, yeah, dude, Mexicans are raping people. I was like, what? He was like, there's women getting raped by their sisters. I was like, what are you
God, never mind.
about?
I take it all back.
and then he just kind of made it to the end. He was like, Medicare. And then that was it.
Yeah.
They cut him off.
Well, yeah, wouldn't
but
finally defeat, was it Medicare? Or?
Yeah, he's like, we defeated Medicare, which didn't
Yeah.
make sense. I don't think he meant to say that. But
No, it was insane.
I liked every time he starts a list is when I'm like, fuck, dude. We're not, when he goes, number one, I'm like, there is a 30% chance we're gonna make it to number 3.
yeah.
We're not making it to 3, Joe.
We got
Don't say 1.
We gotta keep our NATO treaties. We gotta keep the backs of our allies. And then we gotta make sure Poland gets fighter jets, and then you gotta make sure that you can't go down south without enough pairs of underpants. It gets wet. You gotta stop the wet.
The fruit of the loom. Underpants. Well, the thing is, because Trump also.
I unironically am like, that's crazy that he is in charge of the nuclear response.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
We have brought it up before on this podcast.
Yeah.
But post this debate, again, nuclear exchange, you got 6-7 minutes to make a call.
Yeah.
Trying to, I'd be like, you would have to 25th Amendment him on the spot.
Yeah.
I'd be like, Camilla, I know you're new to this, but what the fuck?
Right. It would be really funny if, I don't know if anybody said this yet, but if Biden loses and then dies, and then Kamala's the first female president for like 2 weeks.
Oh, like a lame duck.
That would be hilarious. If that's our first woman president.
Yikes, dude. That is how it would happen.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. I'm like, there's a good chance this guy dies before the new president takes office.
Yeah. But, I mean, they will take it as far as they can. I don't know if you saw, like, Dianne Feinstein, like, her final days. They literally held her hand to make her write something. Like, they put her hand around a pen and had her sign stuff.
That not...
And she's just, like...
Is that not
flailing.
Insanity?
No, it's surface level elder abuse.
Well, yeah, but I
I
just mean like as a human being.
Yeah.
And knowing that we agree to follow laws for societal reasons.
Yeah.
it is insane that I'm like, all right, just because like we made up laws,
Yeah.
To then like to have to be like, we have to have this withered claw,
Right.
ink this. I'm like, no, man, I don't know, just fucking forge it. We're cheating the system all over the place.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Forging it, I would understand more. You know?
Dog, I don't know.
It's like being a politician's got to be the worst because they won't let you die.
No, well,
I would just be
not
begging
well.
to
Hang
die.
on, unless they need you dead.
Unless you got a problem with
Yeah.
a certain agency.
Yeah, I was like, nah, hang on. They either will keep you alive well past dying, or
Right.
make sure you die well past living. Because do you think they're gonna? Do you think they're
gonna pop Biden?
Yeah,
Is that-
no, not kill him. No,
Oh.
I don't even think a sniper could do that. Like, dude,
It's
it
just
also
like I
the
mean, it's
same
like
bullet.
putting down it's like putting down Old Yeller at this
Yeah,
point.
I
right?
don't know. The same bullet that got JFK would absolutely disintegrate Joe Biden.
You don't
Jackie
need the
had to like
magic bullet.
scoop up bits of Jack.
Yeah, yeah.
If Biden got hit with a fucking 300 Win Mag round or some Italian high caliber rifle round,
Yeah.
it would just be like
He'd
you
turn
know-
to dust.
Yeah, it'd be
He
like
would look like Thanos.
you ever seen
snapped.
flash paper where you get the lighter on the corner and just poof?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way, dude.
Yeah, he's.
You,
I think.
you would, as an assassin, feel bad shooting that.
Here's I think it is. It's like, you know how in Old Yeller they go out to shoot the dog,
Yeah.
and they're like they're like waiting, they're like hesitating, and then Old Yeller's like, and then they shoot him.
Yeah.
It'd be like you walking up to Biden like this, and then he's like looking kind of sad and confused, and you're like, I don't know if I should do it. And then he's just like, chocolate chip cookies. And you're like, fuck.
Let me sniff your kids. Yeah.
Just,
I don't know, man. No, unfortunately, I think he'd look like just one of those sad bunnies that never got purchased at a pet store.
Yeah.
It's just looking up at you.
The funny thing is, like, I shouldn't feel sorry for him, because I think that Biden has spent his whole life being like just like a war hawk monster.
Yeah.
But even at that point, I'm looking at this, I'm like, I don't think anybody deserves this.
No.
I don't think anybody deserves that. What's being done to him right now.
Never did I think the office of the presidency would be used for torture itself. Oh, the irony, George Bush.
Hey, Bin Laden.
Yeah, right?
We're gonna make you president.
Yeah.
As a geriatric.
Bin Biden? My name's Joseph Bin Biden. Oh my God, dude. Yeah.
The thing is, I think Trump has a form of dementia too, but he just has the high energy one. Because like he doesn't make sense. He strings words together that don't really. But like he seems more alive, which helps.
Oh, sure, but they're both old as fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, Trump also, like, I feel like at
he's
the
not
debate,
looking as sporty.
He wasn't, and he was not playing the hits. I was really disappointed. I was like, either he's being calculated and trying to go after like the more moderate crowd, or he's just
He's
or
almost
the big guy's
80
lost
himself.
a step. Yeah, I think the
Like-
big guy's lost a step. I don't think he has that like. You know, it's been a while since
He lost 4 years of steps.
Yeah,
And,
dude,
like,
he used to fire out bangers on the regular.
Yeah.
You know, he would be, like what low energy Jeb.
Yeah.
All this stuff.
Well, that's pre-president energy.
Yeah,
Which-
but then even not that long ago, Ron DeSanctimonious is a. That is like fires coming out of the pen while you're writing.
But
that
he's
name.
still not like in the game. He's
No.
back in, I don't know. We'll see, but I don't know, dude. Like, because he's 78.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on the cusp. That's
They're
the new,
both older than George W. Bush is today.
right. That's on the new cut of old as fuck. Like
Yeah.
78 is the new. I think 81 is old as.
Yeah.
That's old as fuck now. You getting there?
Yeah.
Survivable. I know modern medicine can keep you going a long time.
Yeah.
But you should not be the leader of the free world
No.
at that point.
No.
You
No.
know?
I don't think this is a controversial
Yeah, we're not.
stance.
Yeah, I'm not.
Everybody thinks this. My
Yeah.
my 80-plus-year-old grandfather believes this.
Yeah, you know what? I
Yeah.
apologize for being that hacker cliche.
No,
it's
it's
just
fine.
like
It's
like,
true.
ugh,
I think we got to have a 15-year-old president.
that'd be wild.
Yeah. Then none of Congress can talk to him after 5 p.m.
Yeah. Shut it down.
Just like Matt Gates. Being
Yeah,
like, Mr.
somebody-
President.
we gotta stop sexting the president. Dude, I don't
That
know.
way he could have as many sex scandals as he wants, and the other people would get in trouble.
I legit yes.
We wouldn't Clinton him. It would just be
It'd
everybody
the other
else.
way.
Yeah.
I legitimately think you could pull any 50-year-old off the street in this country,
yeah.
and they would be better suited for the presidency of
Yeah.
the country.
Yeah.
Like, what's your stance on Mexicans? Be like, what? I don't know.
Fine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that the one that's south of us, right?
Right,
Like,
right.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Well, and it's like you look at the debate, it's like nobody talked about anything that matters. They were like, the biggest part was the most fiery they got was when they talked about golf. But like most of it was just like, he's sending people here that are doing all this. I don't know. The idea that the Mexicans are taking our jobs, there's like a
Hey, at least
not enough people taking jobs.
At least somebody wants to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude.
Also, cool it. My neighbors are hardworking Mexicans. If they hear you, they're gonna be like, "Hey,
hey, if they got their papers, they got nothing to
amigo,
worry
no
about.
bueno." To
Okay.
us podcast is Mel. Esmal, Lou. Esmal. Oh, okay. I'm stupid in 2 languages.
Yeah.
Dude, it's been so long. I don't know if we have time for it, but like I didn't even tell you about Piv Dog.
Oh yeah, Piven.
Piv
Well, you
Dog.
did tell me about it. We talked about it on the phone.
on the phone, but yeah,
You
yeah.
didn't give the detail. I don't think the audience has heard how insane that show was.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll
you,
try.
You kind of got trapped. You didn't realize.
Yeah, I've already had one kind of meandering long story, so I'll try and keep this one brief for the
Okay.
sake of you and anybody that's tired of my rambles. But yeah, I opened for Jeremy Piven at the Soundboard Theater at the Motor City Casino in Detroit, Michigan.
Oh yeah, that's
My first like real theater gig, like big theater. I've
Yeah.
done like smaller, like towny theaters,
Yeah.
but this one I walked in, I was like, oh, there's some seats here, and Jeremy Piven's probably the least weird thing about the night, because I get there, they're doing sound check. And thank God I had some other friends at the show that came later and got to witness.
It's
it.
nice to have witnesses.
Yeah,
for
there was
crazy
witnesses
stuff.
to the absurdity.
Yeah.
They do the sound check. I meet Piv Dog. He's fine. And
Yeah.
I'll say this out the gate. Nothing weird with him. He was fine in the green room. We had our own green rooms. He was cool. He was like, you can come in and chat. Talked about Black Hawk Down. That was cool.
Nice.
Decent enough fella to me. That's all I really have to say on it. His comedy is what you would think A-list comedy is years after getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll say this, he's trying. Some of it's good. He's also a good actor, which is
Yeah.
something to be said about controlling a theater's worth of people.
You know, underrated Piven performance. Just sidestep. Old
Yeah.
School.
Oh, yeah.
He's
no,
so funny.
that's
in Old
like
School.
that's probably one of the movies I know him the best from. Like, hey,
Yeah.
didn't we lock you in a dumpster? Like, I got out.
yeah.
Like I watched Entourage because I was writing that demo when that came out.
Right.
But no, I definitely like first and foremost helicopter pilot from Black Hawk Down.
Mm-hmm.
He lit up because he's like, that's a Ridley Scott movie, and he's like working with Ridley Scott was kind of
Yeah, that's like
incredible.
his prestige movie that he did.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, and that movie's got so many people in it.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
William Fichtner is in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the boys.
One of
those
the
guys.
boys.
One of those face guys. You see his face, and you're like,
Yeah,
ah.
Tom Hardy. We're gonna do the
Oh,
Come
Tom
Town
Hardy.
bit if we keep going. But literally everybody's in that movie.
Yeah.
It's got Jamie Lannister before he was Jamie Lannister. Don't remember that guy's name.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy, the goofy guy from Alien vs. Predator and Around the World in 80 Days. The
wow.
English actor.
Star-studded cast.
Well, I'm going for the D tier. And
Yeah,
also,
yeah.
it's not saying Tom Hardy's D tier, but
Are you
like,
talking about the guy from Lost? That's no, maybe I'm thinking.
maybe
of a
no.
different
It's a thick Scottish accent. He's it's Twombly and then Nelson,
guy.
the
Oh,
two
okay.
machine gunners that
Yeah,
get left
yeah.
behind. It's Tom Hardy and the goofy Scotsman.
Yeah, I remember what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
of course. Josh Hartnett is
Josh Hartnett.
Hartnett. Yeah,
He's
my
great.
bad. The dad from Modern Family is in this.
Yeah, Ty Burrell.
Ty Morrell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else? We already said Jeremy Piven. fucking
All the stars are here.
I don't know, dude. Yeah, like Tom Sizemore is.
Yeah,
like,
Sizemore's
like,
the rest
what?
in peace, Tom Sizemore.
Yeah,
too.
the cast is out of control.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's like it's Obi-Wan Kenobi's in
Yeah.
the movie. That guy who looks like a hawk, who's the
titular hawk.
well, he's the bank guy at the beginning of the Dark Knight shotgun.
Yeah, that's
guy.
William Fichtner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
Billy
that guy.
Fix.
Billy Fix.
Billy
dude.
Fix. That's my bad. The guy who's the son of a bitch in The Patriot, the dragoon rider in The Patriot, the
maybe,
antagonist.
Yep.
He plays Captain Steel.
Yeah.
And this fucking this is
Stacked.
how bad I am with actors' names. I just refer to more popular movies.
Yeah.
Anyways, Piv Dog.
Piv
Cool.
Dog. He was great.
He was great. Had some fun anecdotes. There was a couple of funny like green room asides with him, but
Yeah.
out of like respect and like I just chalk it up to like base level Holly weirdness.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know. This guy's been an A-list actor for years. Like, but decent enough, dude. One side note about him, and then I'll get to the weirdness of the show, and then I'm done rambling. I was unironically part of an entourage with Jeremy Piven walking through Motor City Casino, and he might have been on some PEDs after the show. I cannot confirm or deny, but my guy was flow walking. He had a swagger to him.
He was
I
having
like,
a good time.
he was cool.
Yeah.
But we were walking through Motor City Casino from the green rooms to an ATM because he had to pay me directly. It is maybe the weirdest way I've ever been paid in comedy. Is I had the A-list celebrity star have to
the most famous person you've ever opened for
had to go to an ATM to get me my payment, and it was super weird because I don't know if he was texting me or an agent under his name was the person texting me, but we agreed on the payment and like that he was going to pay me.
Yeah.
And then when I got there, he's like, "Isn't it weird? Isn't it weird that I'm the one paying you?" And I'm like, "Yes, it is, and it's even weirder that you're bringing it up again." Because in my mind, we had already.
It's weird that I'm standing at the ATM with you.
Yeah, but like just again being part of like like walking through Motor City Casino, and then,
Slow
and then
motion.
just getting to some odd poorly lit yellow corner with an ATM and watching a millionaire pull out $300. Which wasn't gonna humble brag, but I did get $300 for the nightmare storm that it was. Because here's the show.
Talk about the nightmare.
Here's the show.
This is insane to me.
Here's the show. I show up after meeting him. A stage manager goes, "Hey, did anybody tell you that this is a benefit show?" And I was like, "What? No." And they're like, "Yeah, it's a charity event, ticketed charity event." I was like, "Okay, yeah, no, I didn't know that. What's it for?" And they're like, "It's an anti-bullying charity event." I go, "Oh, all right." And I immediately start thinking about trashing half my set list.
Yeah.
But I'm like, "No, whatever. I don't care. Theater show, casino show, Piv Dog." I'm like, "Whatever." I'm like, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. They're like, "Yeah, so the lineup tonight is it's just going to be a couple of guys who run the foundation. They're going to say some words, and a local Detroit DJ, radio DJ is going to bring you up." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Like, yeah, anti-bullying." And I start seeing the slideshow that during sound check, and it's like cyberbullying statistics and graphs. And I'm like, all right, like this kind of sucks, but I've done a St. Jude show where they play dying kids before the stand-up show. So I'm sitting there going this isn't the toughest show old Lou Michaels been a part of. And then so we get there, and about 15 minutes before like go time, the hallway and stage left is like full with like a dozen people, and I'm like, who the fuck are all these people? And I met the two founders of the foundation. Can't remember the foundation's name, sorry. You scarred me though. But they get out, they start giving a speech, and it's your typical like, "Thank you for being here," anti-bullying talk, cyberbullying, suicide statistics. And I'm like, awesome, but whatever. I can do this. I can open this show still. I'm gonna get them. And then they're like, all right, now it's time to bring somebody very special on stage. And it's the superintendent for the Oakland County School District. And they give her an award for being great at, like, stopping anti-bullying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. And she gives a little bit of a speech. They're talking.
Running
and at this
with
point, my friends in the crowd are, like, texting me, like, hey, are we at the right fucking show? And I would later find out more people than knew did not know that this was happening
That's
in the
so
crowd.
funny.
So the crowd is out
Yeah,
there
they're
being
just going to see Piven.
they're Piv Dog fans.
Yeah.
They're like, yo, dude, fucking come on, bring out Ari, dude, fucking Piv Dog. Like the energy's getting palpable.
This rules.
It's dude, bro, come up to their eye energy, like
Yeah.
fucking entourage, man. Like,
Yeah.
and so the superintendent says her thing. We're running late already. And the stage managers are like, you got to stay here because when they bring you up, you got to go do your time. And this is the most professional show I've been a part of as well, where I'm like, all right, this is like, you know, but I'm cracking jokes. My like stage handling manager, she cool. Superintendent's done. Now they're like, all right, now the most important guest we have this evening. And they're like, everybody give it up for so-and-so. And it's a dad, a father of a son who's killed himself due to bullying and cyberbullying.
Oh, my God.
And this guy gives a very heartfelt speech about the effects of this and how close to home it can truly hit. And at this point, I'm laughing. I'm even looking at, dude, I'm looking at Piv Dog. I'm like, yeah, this might be the hardest. This might be the hardest show I've ever had. Because I told him about St. Jude. I'm like, I've done some rough ones. I got this, dude. Like, I'm a trooper. This is my D-Day. And they're like, okay, like, dad wraps it up. At this point, my friends in the crowd are like, what the fuck is actually going on? Now, there's a giant IMAX screen projector on stage behind us. And they're like, all right, before we get the show going, we have a very special message. And at this point, I'm like, what else could be said?
Right.
And some frat kid from University of Michigan from AEPI has this video about anti-bullying. I'm like, okay. He's a well-to-do, dressed-up frat kid, but you know what? I'm a former fratty. I'm like, this kid's got demons too. But I'm like, API, Jewish frat, whatever. And then Jewishness comes up a little bit more. And Jewishness comes up a little bit more. He's like, you know, when I was younger, I was bullied for being Jewish. And I'm like, all right, like, yeah, that'll happen. But like anti-Semitism and bullying are kind of two different things. One can be both, but the other's definitely not just one.
Right.
And so it gets into it, and then he starts really talking about anti-Semitism, and then it just
like, I don't like where this is going.
Dude, then it just starts haymakers come out, and he's like, and the atrocities that happened on October 7th, and I'm like, there it is, and bingo, and he starts going in on Zionism and or not Zionism, but like stopping Hamas and what's going
and, like,
on
the
in
protesters
Israel.
on the college
yeah,
campus.
and like protecting Jewish students on campus.
Yikes.
They bring up the Holocaust. There's like genocide talk. And this whole time, Piv Dog, active son of Israel.
Yeah.
He's Jewish. I don't know if he's a son of Israel.
Yeah.
But son of Abraham, I should say. Even Piv Dog's looking at me, smiling and chuckling a little bit. He goes, this is tough. This is gonna be tough. He's like, you get him though. You know, have fun with it. It's like saying the like headliner stuff.
Yeah.
But unironically, I'm like, dog, I've done comedy longer than you. Like, I'm the most experienced stand-up in the building right now.
Yeah.
And so this video plays, and it's just showing weird shit, and like, finally, video stops.
Yeah.
And then they're like, Luke, get ready. You're up next.
You ready for a comedy?
And then this fucking sweetheart Detroit radio DJ just goes on stage and goes, all right, who's ready for the comedy show? And then he goes, you know him from East Lansing, Lou Michael.
Oh.
And then I go out there
Beautiful, dude.
in my walkout song that I picked before I knew any of this was ABBA's "Take a Chance on Me."
You're all alone.
Yeah, when you're all alone, and it's blaring through the theater, and I go out there and I just start dancing, and I probably danced for like a minute. I kept, because I'm like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
What am I? So
I'm gonna put in my rider. Talk about a kid who killed himself,
bring his dad on stage.
and then talk about Zionism and how it's good.
Yeah,
and
well, no, I don't. I don't want to be called all the way out on this. I'm using a little bit of hyperbole. I don't know that he said Zionism, but he definitely.
It was a pro-Zionist video.
Yeah, it was definitely like, we gotta stop Hamas.
right.
It was no two sides.
We gotta stop those protesters.
But dog, just take a chance, take a chance, take a chance, take a chance on me.
Did you know that Seinfeld has been funding anti-Palestinian protesters, like the people that are obstructing the protests at the campuses? Like he and his wife.
He's funding these.
His wife
the Israelis.
The Israelis or the pro-Israel folks that are like.
He's funding the pro-Israel
that
folks
have been kind of like attacking some of the students.
I don't know. That's not a shock, right?
No,
I've heard he's not actually Jewish. Is that true? He's Jewish, right?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I assumed he was.
I don't care.
But he because I remember because there were people like protesting his speech, and everyone was like. This is where I saw Andrew Schultz, love and respect Schultz. He gave the most like dog shit, dumb opinion.
No, Andy, take us with you.
Take us with you.
Andy, take us with you. You've got more room on that couch.
You do.
Take us with you.
Hey, knock some of the other guys off.
No,
what are they doing?
keep them. I'd like to be shoulder to shoulder with the bros.
I'll scooch in there.
And guess what?
I'll share with the Kosh.
You guys don't even have to waste no zins on me because I don't do no nicotine. So, no, I'm not a pouch pooch. I'm not a pouch mooch. Pouch mooch pooch.
That was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
little something.
But yeah, Schultz was like, "Oh, they're just protesting him just because he's a Jewish guy." And it's like, no, his money, he's funding the whatever. I wouldn't protest him. I don't care about doing that. But he had. Did you see I saw these articles that were like, because people started like protesting his comedy shows too. And they're like, they'll stand up during the show. They bought a ticket to Seinfeld, I guess. And then they go in, they stand up during the show, and they're yelling, like, free the children of Gaza, And look, they're right. I think they're right. Seinfeld, all articles were positive, like, Seinfeld shuts down hecklers, like, they'll call them, like, pro-Hamas hecklers.
But he's not
like, but then you watch the clips, and he's just like, knock it off!
Yeah,
he's not like Steve Hofstettering these guys. He's just like, knock it off, get out of here.
Well, even then, it's like, dude,
come on.
I'm sure he's dealt with hecklers in his tenured career.
Yeah,
but he's not a fight back comic.
No,
you know what I mean? Like,
he's not an on his feet.
Yeah, I'm like, Louis J. Gomez will enter the crowd.
Louis J. Gomez will beat the shit out of him.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, dog. Like,
right,
yeah, I don't know. I think that's a kind of dumb way to.
I have it on good authority. Seinfeld is, and I'm sure most people know this, but when he came to the Wharton, my girlfriend at the time worked at the Wharton Center, and he would get people fired if they looked him in the eyes backstage. He famously, Tom Izzo, came up to him after the show and he gave him a signed jersey.
Yeah.
And was like, Jerry, this is a thank you for coming to MSU.
Yeah.
And then they found it in the trash can of Jerry's green room after the show. And I remember my girlfriend at the time, she was a big fan of comedians and cars getting coffee, and she couldn't watch it after that because everybody there hated Jerry so much.
I don't know, dude.
Seinfeld, great show.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I
mean, I don't care.
It's just weird. I don't know. Money and fame, and I'm sure
Jerry, take us with you.
He's also never cared about what other people think.
He's literally never cared. So that's why I don't even think it's worth mentioning that he's an asshole.
No,
because I think he knows.
I think it's always been there.
He's made a career of being an asshole. That's why people like him.
Yeah,
people both like and dislike him for the same reasons.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, dude. Yeah, that stuff, it used to bum me out. I don't really care anymore.
No, I don't care. I think it's funny though that the heckler destroys comedian thing was just him like, stop.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Go home.
Also, I have it on pretty decent authority. All these like stories of people getting fired because somebody got looked in the eye. It's very much like appeasing a toddler.
Yeah.
And then they're like, just go home and come back tomorrow. Like, of
Right,
course you're
right.
not fucking fired. This
Yeah.
person's a lunatic.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you looked? Oh. Like, the overhead on theaters with absolute monsters walking through them.
Yeah.
Like, if they're not looking Jerry in the eyes and they don't look Steve Harvey in the eyes, they better not look me in the eyes. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
They're just like, you can just get the night off.
I'll tell you this much, green rooms, like that big a green room, and I'm sure there's much better and more illustrious green rooms. The allure was lost on me in about 5 minutes, and then a weird vapid grossness started to set in.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't like being in this room.
No.
I definitely don't like being in here alone.
Yeah.
And I just got up and started kicking it with the cafeteria staff, and like, yeah, I don't know. That June tried to break me.
Hey, well,
June tried to break me.
don't worry,
dude.
we're straight again.
We're back.
We're back, dude.
Back
Boys
to
are
being
back.
straight. It's July 1st. This comes out on the 4th.
Yeah.
Freedom Cast, baby.
Freedom.
Freedom Cast.
Hey, Freedom Cast. Well, thank you. Thanks for-
Sorry's a longer one, but we had a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, we
and, you
had to
know,
catch up.
Yeah.
I've watched most of the John Lerma episodes. Seem to have gone well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, John. Thanks for filling in.
We weren't testing replacements. We just had a buddy come on in.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I didn't realize. John let me know. Everybody thinks this is your podcast, and I help out. I'm like, no, we're co-hosts.
Yeah. If anything, it's more yours because you do all the.
I do the back end stuff,
Yeah.
and then like by the end of it, I'm like, Johnny, just post the stuff, and then I think people will go like, yeah, man. I'm like, I
think it's John knows the people that know me better more.
Okay, I mean,
so those people are gonna think it's.
Here's
mine.
the thing, I don't care. I'm just like, now I feel bad because I'm like, if it looks like you're doing all, I'm like, oh no, I'm sorry, buddy,
that's
but
fine.
but anyways, butt plugs, yes.
I'll tell you what. Go see Horizon and American Saga Part 1 in theaters. Saw it last night.
Yeah.
The movies are back. All right. In general, Dudes Rock movies are back.
What's it?
Dudes Rock movies.
Oh yeah. All right.
That Bad Boys, Beverly Hills Cop just came out. Dudes are back in cinemas or on Netflix. It's a good time to be alive. But no, Horizon's so sick. It rules. As for things I'm doing, let me see. I've got. Let's see. This will come out on the 4th. On the 10th, I'll be at the Great White Buffalo in Northville, Michigan, with Robert Jenkins.
Hell yeah!
I'll be featuring for Rob. On the 13th, I'll be at the Independent Comedy Club in Hamtramck. I'll be on the roast battle, the uncalled for roast battle with Nick Kelly.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes.
That's super cool, man.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot in July because I fucked up. Depression will get you.
Sure.
But I'm pretty excited about this one. July 18th, 19th, and 20th, I am hosting at Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle for the one and only Sam Talent. Shout out Sam Talent. Love you,
Sam.
buddy. That I've been excited about that one for a while. I think we're doing 2 shows Thursday, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday.
Damn.
So I think we're doing 6. Last I was told by the staff at the castle.
Yeah.
And then Nathan Lund is featuring for him, and Nathan also fucking rules and is like definitely like Sam's go-to road feature and buddy. And the two of them are incredible. Shout out their podcast, Chubby Behemoth.
Yeah. Great podcast.
If you like what we're doing, listen to people do it a little bit better. And then, so yeah, got that weekend with them. And then the only other one that isn't like a mic or kind of like local show is I think the 25th. I'll be at the Independent Comedy Club with Elena Bamfield and friends.
Yeah, I
So-
wanted to. She asked me to do that, but I've got another show that night in Detroit.
Okay, yeah,
So
I
I
can't
can't.
remember. I'm just gonna say yes. Hopefully, my spot or the spot is still open. I'm also there's a ton of I'm christening my godchild.
Come on
to,
out.
Come to that if you're
drop
in,
the dates.
Yeah, if you're in Miami, Florida, between July 6th and 8th, I'm gonna be fucking
I'm
it
opening
up
for my
with God.
grandkids.
Yeah,
christening.
and then I'm gonna help move my girlfriend into Harvard Yard for a summer semester.
Hey.
So I might be bumming around Boston in July. So
Nice.
Yeah, and then I think that'll do it. I think
Nice.
but the Sam Talent shows, go to those.
Yes,
It
go to
rules.
those.
All right.
All
All
right.
right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Ancient Chinese secret, huh?
Yeah, you do a solo post credits.
All
I'm
right.
gonna go pee.
Okay.
Finish Imagine if you want.
I don't know it by heart. Oh, wow. I just go into a Disturbed song. I don't know, dude. If I've learned anything, it's that I don't know shit, and taking a lot of time to do. I'm gonna have my Dr. Disrespect moment, just frowning, like, taking a lot of time to work on myself, see the blind spots in my life, thanks to the loved ones that point them out to me. So, if you feel like shit, have somebody. I can't even do a Dr. Disrespect, but if you feel like shit, have the ones you love the most look in on you, and they will probably be able to help you find out what you're doing wrong and or what's going wrong. But other than that, everybody, keep it tight, keep it loose. Ask before you grab a goose. And that's the dumbest thing I've said this whole pod. Yeah, I think that'll do it. That'll actually do it. John's going to piss. I'm going to piss. We're just a couple piss boys. Piss Boys Podcast. God damn it. That would have been a better name, too.